It is an honor to welcome Richard Chamberlain on the website dedicated to his career as an actor, an artist, a writer, and a singer. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm thrilled.
This year marks 50 years of Dr. Kildare and 30 years of Shogun, both highlights of your amazing career. But first of all, let us focus on the present. You have just finished filming 2 episodes of Leverage, after filming 1 episode last year. You also were featured in 2 episodes of Chuck. Both series tell stories involving high-tech and science fiction and can be considered as groundbreaking projects, thus taking Richard Chamberlain well into the 21st century.
At last.
In what way do these series differ from the traditional ones as far as acting is concerned?
Chuck, for instance, is very off the wall, very funny, and kind of crazy. and I got to play a ruthless killer who was sort of Middle European, and I said, well, what about the accent? And they said, oh, just do an accent. So I sort of did an accent. And they're fun because they make no real emotional sense at all. They're all about capers and mechanical craziness. And it's fun, but it is a somewhat different kind of acting. Leverage is more traditional. It's very involved with high-tech gimmicks and computers and all that sort of thing. But the part I had was a fairly regular, dramatic part. And in the last episode, which is called, I think it's called The Last Damn Job, DAM, was fun because most of the things I had to do were sort of amusing and stylish, which was fun to do. But Leverage is for my character more like traditional acting of the past.
Right. Let's take a big leap now backwards and talk about the beginning of your career. Dr. Kildare, which premiered 50 years ago, almost to the day, was a colossal success for you, personally and professionally. What did you feel when you saw for the first time your face on the front page of a magazine?
It's an incredible dream come true. It's what I always wanted. I always wanted to be an actor, and I always wanted the things that went with acting, like fame and fortune and all that stuff. So it was thrilling to see my face on a magazine. I had considerable self-esteem problems as a young person. And I thought that being famous would make everything all right. And it sort of did for a while. But I was very happy for the recognition that we got on that show, which was actually a very good show.
Yes, it was. It was really. And at some point you were featured in 15 magazines the same week.
That's incredible. Luckily, I was working so hard on the show. It's very hard work doing series television. And we did 36 shows the first year, I think, and 34 the second year. And then they put me in other things in between seasons, and so I was extremely busy. And it's possible that I didn't even realize I was on 15 magazine covers, because I was just, trying to keep up with the work. But it's very difficult to take a huge life change like that to realize it at the time. It just seems kind of unreal and hard to believe. So I had, if I did know about it, I was amazed and sort of dumbfounded, I think.
Did it last long?
The dumbfoundedness?
Yeah.
Did the dumbfoundedness last long? Yes, it has lasted till today, actually. when I think about having had this wonderful career for what, 55 years, something like that, it's very unusual for an actor to last that long and be able to work that long. So when I think about it, I think, oh my God, I've been so unbelievably lucky. And it's been so much fun along with the hard work.
We have been lucky too to have you. Dr. Kildare was your first big role, as we have seen, and a spectacular break for you. Did you get hold of your character, Dr. James Kildare, right from the pilot? Or was it rather a slower process during which ran parallel to the way Dr. Kildare himself got hold of his profession?
Yes, I think a little of both. The director of the first pilot film was Boris Segal, a wonderful, wonderful director. And the script was quite specific about Kildare. So between Boris and the script, and of course Ray Massey, who was just wonderful to work with, I think I sort of knew who Kildare was pretty much through working on him in that first show. It was a difficult show, and I was very green, and everybody was very patient with me because I would require a number of takes often to get something right in the beginning. And Ray was always amazingly understanding about those things. But I think I kind of got a hold of Kildare pretty much during that first episode. But of course, he grew and I grew along with the series.
After Dr. Kildare, 2 projects, both with a British connection, started the process of cutting the umbilical cord that linked you to Dr. Kildare. First, Petulia, directed by Richard Lester, who was an American based in Britain, and starring the very British Julie Christie. And second, Portrait of a Lady, that was a BBC television series. What was it like to work in a British environment, and how did these 2 projects influence your career?
Those 2 projects were very influential in that, and they did relate to each other. Working on Petulia with Richard, who thought he was British, and Julie, and a very largely British crew, I got the very strong feeling that I really should go to England and get my basic training as an actor and go to drama school. That's what I wanted to do in England. But I've always felt very comfortable with the British and in England, though I had only been in England for about a week before we did this. I'm at home in that atmosphere. And I thought, well, when this is over, I'm going to go to London and I'm going to go to RADA or one of the drama schools and learn my trade. And the minute I got off the plane, however, in England, I got a job, a wonderful job in Portrait of a Lady, with James Catlin Jones directing, and a wonderful, wonderful cast. And so I started working before I had a chance to go to drama school, and the work was amazingly instructive. It was on the job training of the highest order, I think. And possibly I learned more from that kind of work in England, I worked a lot in the 4.5 years I was there. It was probably as instructive or more instructive than actually going to drama school. So the 2 very much were in cahoots with each other.